So today, we're playing a Berserker, and we've got a stunningly awesome build. We're going with the Fighter subclass to get the newly changed Brass Knuckles, which now has an increased chance to stun with every hit, activating our Spectral Daggers more often. But that's not all, we're also rocking 2 stone golems, each with a 30% chance to stun as well. And a big old hammer with another 45% chance to stun our opponent too. But hey, check it out and let me know what you think of it. Okie dokie, let's go jump some rank games with a random character and see what we can do today. So we're starting off with utility bunch. We do have ourselves a set of blueberries. Let's go ahead and grab ourselves a frying pan at the very beginning. Now I'm going to grab a shiny shell along with a stone. I'm going to roll. And I'm going to grab ourselves this whetstone. But unfortunately I'm going to sell our starved courage, which is kind of crazy to do, I know, but I do really want this banana and set of blueberries. But unfortunately we only have one weapon with double stones. We are going to have to move on and see how we can deal with this once. Our opponent does have a broom as well as a frying pan, so they could potentially outpace us. But we do get a battle rage and we utility pouch. We should get a ton of lifesteal if we do manage to hit. Unfortunately, our frying pan is super slow. Just pause the video to remind you to like, comment or subscribe if you enjoyed the video. It really helps me out. Thanks. Now let's get back to the video. And our battle rage just ended at the wrong time, unfortunately. I'm going to grab this wooden sword to craft up a hero sword. You know what? Let's grab this broom. And we're going to be crafting up a shovel as well. I'm going to have to reserve this undead stamina as well though. Yeah, now we have 3 weapons. We went from having 1 weapon to having 3 weapons. It's going to be a lot of stamina. With that utility pouch, our weapons don't use up as much stamina. But our opponent does have a ton of block with some extra max life. So unfortunately, yeah, we're eventually going to run out of stamina. We do have our battle rage though. Our opponent doesn't have a whole lot of DPS. But our battle rage has ended. We are getting some misses because our opponent has stacked up a lot of blind on us. Unfortunately. Now, if our opponent didn't have that armored life, we actually would have won. If they didn't have the armor, we would have won too. But unfortunately, it was just way too much for us to handle. Now, first of all, I'm going to grab a whetstone. Let's grab another stone. Let's grab this 2 armored wiles. Honestly, not too bad. I will definitely take it. Now, I'm going to reserve this leather bag, but I do want to grab ourselves another shiny shell for now. But I still want to add in a banana. But this should be pretty decent overall. Our stone should be able to do a lot of damage, as well as our shovel. Now we could have had a hero sword beside our shovel as well, but honestly, I think this is going to be our best bet. Because they both get 1 damage from the whetstone or the hero sword, but we do spread our damage with that whetstone in between. So not too bad, we managed to get a win finally, and we've got a lot of stones, so I think we're going to go for stoned type build. Let's grab a bit of storage. I do want to grab a set of healing herbs, and I do want to roll once again. And let's roll again. Definitely need to grab as much stones as possible, but I did want to grab another whetstone for sure. You know what? I'm actually going to sell this pocket sand to grab ourselves another stone as well. And you know what? I'm going to move on. So all these stones are going to be getting some extra damage. And we did take out our shovel outside our utility pouch. That way we can try to inflict a little bit more blind. But it is going to be quite slow, and it is only a 40% chance to inflict that blind. And right now our stones only activate once, giving us that tiny bit of block, unfortunately. So it's not going to be good enough right now. But hey, it's time to sell our shovel. We did get ourselves a turnip on sale. Let's roll, and we grab ourselves a bag of stones, which I'm definitely going to have to wait around, but I'm going to be adding in our turnip for now. And we probably should have moved our shiny shell beside the other one. Yeah, that would be quite clever. Adding in the turnip, since we're going to be stacking up a lot of spikes, we should be able to deal a crazy amount of damage with the turnip. Our opponent has a similar setup, except they do have that amethyst steel, which is going to be quite nice for opponents. But hey, can we keep up? Not looking too bad. Awesome even. Now we're going to grab the storage. I'm going to slightly move this one up, and we're going to have our stones set up like so. I'm going to keep rolling. Mana orb on sale for 3 is kind of crazy. I kind of do want to grab, and I kind of want this leather bag. But yeah, before we do move on, Let's keep going. Now, do we craft up a chain up or do we keep our turn up? I think we kind of want to keep our turn up for now. But let's keep moving. So at least with our bagstones in right now, we should be able to potentially stack up a little bit of block. But our opponent is going to be shredding our block with that bone spear, which is not so great. We do have our battle rage, we do have some lifesteal. We are stacking up spikes, so it's a nice little combo between everything that we do have. So not too bad. Let's grab this bit of storage, let's grab ourselves this mana orb. I do really want to grab this unstable recombobulator. And I would like to grab ourselves a set of blueberries as well. But unfortunately, we are not finding our whetstone, which is the problem. But let's grab our blueberries. Now, do we keep our unstable recombobulator or do we recombobulate our turnip? I think what we're going to do now is we're just going to be offering up our shiny shells. But right now, with our unstable recombobulator, but we should be in a pretty good spot. I did opt to have our mana orb in this position, targeting our turnip, along with our hero sword and our banana and our blueberries. We should be able to stack up a lot of mana. Once we get to 10 mana, we start stacking up our accuracy, making our stones being able to pretty much hit 100% of the time. And not too bad. And what are we going to get? Something awesome. A Spectral Dagger. And another stone. Now we do got a couple of options here. We could try to go for Deerwood Guardian and go for a big mana buff bomb with a stone setup. During our battle rage, we're going to have lifesteal with our utility pouch. And we're also going to have some block gain with our stones. Now the thing is, we could also go for brass knuckles. Since we do have our Spectral Dagger, we're going to be stunning. And if we do grab ourselves a stone golem, we're also going to have a chance to stun as well. So you know what, let's actually go ahead and grab ourselves these brass knuckles for now. I'm going to sell the scoobers, I'm going to grab ourselves a stone. I do want to grab gloves and I also want to grab a fanny pack. Let's keep going for now. And let's keep going for now as well. We did get ourselves a hammer here. And another bag of stones. So I'm going to say goodbye to our turnip, which has been pretty darn decent, but I definitely want to go for a hammer, brass knuckles, spectral dagger type build. I'm going to want this push build, but we're going to have to take another bag of stones. And I'll be back in a second while I sort our inventory out once again. But I did move our setup around to be something like this, which I think is going to be decent. We're going to be scaling up our accuracy and our crit chance on our spectral dagger along with our hammer and these stones for now. But our hero sword is going to be off to the side in this position, increasing the damage on our spectral dagger, along with our stones too. But yeah, we're going to have our gloves target our brass knuckles along with our hammer. And I do kind of want to keep it normal for now. But we should have multiple chances to stun, increasing our damage overall. And just delaying our opponent from doing anything. But they do have tons and tons and tons of healing with that Nocturnal Locklifter. And unfortunately that Spike Shield is going to be eating up our stamina altogether, which is less than ideal. But can our bagstones... Holy moly, that was big damage there. Yeah, big old 26 crit with our Spectral Dagger. But so far, not looking too bad. Now, that's awesome. A freaking dagger again. Hell yeah, we're going to be grabbing it. Now, I'd really like our whole situation to be like this. But I think we're going to have to slightly move this out so we can have our pair of gloves target our brass knuckles. We're going to be crafting up our Spectral Dagger. We could grab another set of blueberries. But I think we really want to grab ourselves another banana. And we could also be taking out our Hero Longsword, or Hero Sword, because... yeah, we don't really have access to a Hero Longsword right now. So I think we're actually going to sell it. We're going to grab ourselves a set of blueberries. We're going to keep rolling. And I do want to grab this Undead Amulet with a Bloody Amulet as well. But unfortunately, we do have to keep moving on for right now. So we did lose our Hero Sword, but that's not going to be too bad for us. With our Spectral Dagger, and with our other dagger, once we craft up into another Spectral Dagger, he's going to be awesome for us, but our opponents had a lot of damage off the gate, inflicting a ton of blind on us. Now, I'm 150,000% going to grab Guard Power here, because this is going to give us regen and empower. It's going to be awesome for our Stone Golems. Let's grab you, Amulet of Wilds once again. And I do kind of want to grab this to craft up Vampiric Gloves. Now, I'm going to have to reserve the Stamina Sack, but unfortunately I'm going to be moving on. Now, the problem with the Fighter subclass is we're kind of scaling builds. we do need our brass knuckles to increase that speed or increase our crit chance after some time. Also scaling up our accuracy. And this is looking pretty good. Not too bad for sure. Let's grab the stamina sack. Let's roll. Another bag of stones I do kind of want to grab with another funny pack. And you know what? I do kind of want to grab a set of healing herbs, allowing our guard power to just scale up our power at the very beginning. A little bit easier. To the point where I'm going to sell this, we can grab that pretty much instantly. I'm going to sell a banana to keep rolling, and holy moly, that is going to be amazing for us. Next round, we're going to have, well, we're going to have to craft up that stone golem for sure. And we have the potential to grab 2 stone golems. But we do start off with 6 regen. We do need to grab 7 for stone golems. We do get our battle rage. We do get lifesteal. We have tons of block with our stones for right now, but it's not going to be enough. There's a lot of poison stacked up on us, and barely. That is extremely awesome for us, for sure. Now we could go double hammer here, but I don't think we are going to want that. Unfortunately, we're going to have to steal one of these stones from over here until we craft up our stone golem, but we do at least have this one over in this position, which is going to be quite good. But once we get our stone golem, we're going to have another chance to stun, which is going to be amazing. Our opponent is going to be running a staff of fire with a lot of block. They should be able to scale up that staff of fire pretty fast, which is going to be quite scary. But can we answer back with a lot of damage with our Spectral Daggers? We do attack through that armor, and this is actually looking amazingly awesome. But hey, we got our stone golem. Let's keep rolling for now. We could grab another stamina sack, which I do kind of want to grab. Let's keep going. And yeah, amazing. We are going to be taking the healing herbs. First of all, let's take a protective little purse. Now, do we want to scale up our crit chance on our stone golem? If so, we kind of want our setup to be like so. However, we are actually missing 1 stone, which is not going to be so great because then we can't craft up our stone golem, but I'm still going to be taking a hard container boots. This stone golem should have a ton of damage, 16 DPS, and with our brass knuckles, we're going to be scaling up our accuracy and our crit chance. The problem is, the cooldown is only going to be 3 seconds, but with our double ammo to wilds, we do trigger stone golem twice after 5 seconds. And this is actually looking pretty darn decent. Let's grab a hard container. Let's roll. Let's roll again. And one more time. And we could grab more healing herbs, but I think we're okay for now as we move on. Although it could be a toss-up in stacking up our power or regen with our guard power. But we'll see. We should be able to start off with a ton of block with our stone golem. And when our stone golem deals damage, we should be able to get block back. And especially during our battle rage, we should get a ton of lifesteal and smash it. Pretty good setup, not gonna lie. Definitely not too bad. However, we do end up with only 40 DPS. With stone golem, our spikes, spectral daggers, doing a lot of work for us. As for heals, we do end up with about a 20 heal per second. As for block though, we managed to get about 25 block per second, which definitely could be improved with. Let's see if we can make this a lot crazier. Now, after all this time, we could craft up that hero longsword if we did held on to it, but it is what it is. Let's keep rolling. We just need to find 1 more stone or some more daggers. Now, we do kind of want to grab this bag of stones, but now we could just increase our stone golem's DPS overall, like so. Or we could just go back and forgo a little bit of that damage. But I think this is going to be a better setup for us. I'm going to roll another hard container. It's kind of awesome, but I don't think we really want that. So unfortunately, I think we are just going to move on once again. Little less than ideal, but it is what it is. Now, a lot of defenses actually comes from just stunning our opponent by quite a lot. However, that's a lot of cold on us, which is not so great. They also have that invulnerability, which is going to be problematic for us. Can we answer back? We should have some lifesteal, we should have some block, but unfortunately, yeah, there's not much we can do about that. We did get our stones, we're going to have another stone golem, which is going to be awesome. For sure, I'm going to grab this bit of storage, and let's go. I'm going to roll, and another freaking dagger, which is going to be extremely awesome for us. And let's keep going. protective little purse. I do kind of want to grab for a tiny bit more block off the get-go. A shiny shell on sale. Hell yeah, I'm not going to be grabbing that. And we could also grab a piggy bank, which we probably should have been grabbing to smash open for some extra monies. Which I definitely want to grab. I really want to add in our daggers into this sort of situation for now. So we can craft up another Spectral Dagger for sure. However, that's a lot of healing. A lot of skilling damage. And Shelly on top. This could be quite scary. Can we actually stop him from healing with big stuns? We could potentially. We're stacking up our power, increasing the damage on all our daggers. And we did activate our fire container, and not too bad. Multi-sources of stuns, triggering our daggers quite nicely. And we got our monies. Let's grab our dagger as well. Let's grab this protective little purse. Let's roll. And let's keep rolling. We could grab a fanny pack to increase the speed. I don't think we're going to grab it. Let's keep moving. Another spike collar I don't exactly want. Goobers. We could grab, but I'm not going to. Let's roll again. And roll again. Now that's another freaking mana orb, which I do really want to grab. And we could craft up another Spectral Dagger if we really want to. But yeah, this should be pretty good. With us up now, we're not going to get crit chance on this dagger specifically, but it still should be pretty good. And we're not going to get crit chance on the stone golem, but it's going to have to be this way for now. Now, the problem is with stacking multiple Spectral Daggers, we're going to use up a crazy amount of mana. But as long as we have multiple mana orbs, blueberries, we should be able to stack up that mana. So our Spectral Daggers should be able to do a ton of damage. And that's big damage. Holy moly, that's actually looking pretty darn decent for sure. Yeah, we have about 100 DPS. Going from about 45 DPS to about 100 DPS is crazy. With a 50 healing per second, with about 50 block per second too. But that's another Spectral Dagger. Do we want a Spike Collar for even more Battle Rage? I don't think we necessarily do. King's Crown. I don't think so. Protective little purse for a little bit more block. Another pair of gloves. Which, you know what? I'm going to grab increasing our guard power. Now let's grab this, hoping for Amnesty Steel. Ammonite Feasting, unfortunately. Yeah, it's not super great. Now this is going to be our final setup. Now a super fun Hammer Dagger type build. With a bunch of stone golems for a multi-source stun with some Spectral Daggers. Turned out to be a lot of fun. For sure, guard power golems is always really awesome too. But with our Amulet of Wilds also being a pretty decent MVP too, to activate our golems twice within 5 seconds. But hey, we're going to go ahead and see, is this going to be good enough? We did have 2 lives left. Can we win out? Now we are going to begin a big old shields with shielded. It is going to eat up a lot of our stamina, so we could be in lots of trouble blocking a lot of our damage. While our opponent is going to constantly eat up our stamina. Now the good thing about a Brass Knuckles is it doesn't cost any stamina, neither does our Stone Golems. So we should be able to still be able to stun our opponents, even though our hammer is not going to be able to hit, because that is going to be a lot of our stamina gone. And unfortunately, during Battle Rage, they're going to have a lot of damage reduction with these Dragon Skull Armors. Meaning we're not going to get much block back from our Golems, we're not going to be getting much lifesteal back from our Golems. Which is really unfortunate. But hey, we are answering back. Can we keep up? Once our Battle Rage ends, we're going to be in an awesome spot, but unfortunately, their Battle Rage just lasted for too long. Now, this opponent directly countered us with that Moon Shields and these Dragon Skull Armors. Especially with triple Spike Collars as well. They directly countered us and hit the nuts with 2 amps of energy, meaning they can scale up their Magic Torch along with their Spike Staff pretty decently well. But unfortunately, we did end up losing our final fights, and I'm assuming we had a very little DPS. Yeah, our 100 DPS went down to about a 38 DPS facing these opponents with that shielded perk with these Dragon Skull Armors, which did in fact reduce our healing by quite a bit, and even our block generation, which was kind of absurd. It was still a super fun build. We did survive 1 life left. Let's go and see just how much rank points we managed to get. Plus 8, ranked us up quite a bit. But anyways, I'm going to leave it here for now. Just want to say thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, comment, or even consider subscribing. And I hope you keep looking for the next one. I'll see you next time. Okay, we couldn't leave it at that. We're back in the history. We are going up again. Double Thornbloom big bowl of treats. Now our opponent would have a much better time with a card cupboard, stack it up an absurd amount of max life. And this is looking a hell of a lot better than the previous fight. For sure. Although it could be even worse. Nah. Much better. Okay, we're going up again a big old busted blade stone golem type build. Can we actually win it? Our opponent doesn't actually have any regen stacking apart from power pump, which is pretty good for us. They do, however, have nearly 100% crit chance, big old busted blade, with some invulnerability as well. But hey, can we stack up our good old fighter subclass, scale up our crit chance, and deal a ton of damage back? And actually, awesome. Okay, this is going to be a crazy Excalibur, cheese Excalibur type build. Once you go to that battle rage, they're going to be stacking a max life like crazy. Especially with those chili peppers as well. They're going to go turbo nuts, while also removing our buffs with that chin up. And they're actually dealing out quite a bit of damage. Our battle rage doesn't last for near as long. So unfortunately, our direct counter is freaking Berserkers. Okay, we're going to begin a crazy hammer, dagger, knife to meet you with a bunch of freaking life-stealing daggers. Now this is going to be quite scary because that is going to be a lot of vampirism. They're going to have that invulnerability for 2 seconds. We do answer back with a lot of damage ourselves. And that is a lot of poison stacked up on us. And holy moly, this is looking super close. For sure. And we barely won. Holy moly. That was kind of crazy. Okay, so we're going to begin a nuts and practice large greatsword, dealing a crazy amount of damage. And holy moly, that was so much damage at the very beginning. That's kind of absurd. But can we answer back with our own damage? Now, our opponent is going to have some vulnerability with that Dark Lantern, which might give him enough time for their practice large greatsword to deal that absurd damage. But hey, we're answering back, and awesome. That was a pretty sick build.